welcome to our channel. I'm Kaylee.
I'm Caleb, and this is little Ariana.
And we're gonna talk about my 15 and pregnant story and how I found out and how we told our parents. We met through a friend at the mall. Then we started hanging out through that friend, and then we ended up flirting and then talking. Then we started dating. Fast forward.
So basically, it was in the summer. It was actually on our school's prom day, and I met this interesting individual that we went to Panda Express with. And then the next day, we hung out again, and that's where I met Kaylee, at the mall. So I continued to hang out with her for a long time, and her parents found out. They weren't too happy about it, but they said that I could trust them, and they were okay with it. And come August, we started getting really close, and I spent a lot of time with Kaylee. And I was like, you know, Kaylee, I think you should wear my football jersey for my first game. She's like, why would I wear your football jersey when we're not even dating? So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, okay, would you be my girlfriend, Kaylee? She hesitated a little bit, but she said yeah. And she wore my jersey that first game, and we took pictures, and that's how Kaylee and Caleb started.
When you asked me to be your girlfriend, that was like a really awkward moment, but it was hilarious. Plus your mom was there.
Yeah.
So when we found out we were 8 months like dating?
About 8 months, 9 months, something like that, yeah.
And so my mom said that I was starting to gain some weight, and she kept questioning me, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? And I said, no, I'm not pregnant. I'm definitely not. I know I'm not, for sure. So then after she kept saying this for like 2 weeks, I made him come with me and him get the pregnancy test. We went back, and he was playing basketball outside, waiting for me to go and take it, which took like an hour because I didn't have to go to the bathroom. And then I went and took it, and I told him I was taking it. And so we waited like the 3 minutes, and after it came out positive, I was just kind of in awe, like I didn't know what to think about it. So I had to go tell him, so I called him inside, and I took him upstairs, and I sat him down, and then I told him, and he was like speechless. He didn't say a single thing.
That's false.
You didn't say a single thing.
I didn't.
You just kind of stared at me, like...
In my mind, I was like, holy shit, what is going on? It was terrifying, to be honest. It's scary. It's an unknown territory kind of place. It's like, you know, something I didn't expect, especially so soon. But here I am, and I actually enjoy it, and I love my baby girl. But it's interesting. It's different. It's a learning process. It's okay, mama. For me, the hardest thing was I was living with her and her family because I recently moved out of my house because of complications. And so I was living with her, and the family took me in, and they treated me really well. And we had to go tell them that she was pregnant. So that was really scary because I'm living with them. And the very next day, I was actually supposed to move out and go live with her aunt because they couldn't really keep me, and then plus they didn't want Kaylee to get pregnant. So that was their whole thing of why I was moving out. And then all of a sudden, the day before, she's pregnant. She goes down there, she tells her.
No.
I'm upstairs.
No.
I didn't tell her.
I had to go on a walk. You said go on a walk with her. So I go on a walk with her, and she decides to take me to the cemetery. We're walking in the cemetery, and she's looking at all these like graves and all how these little babies are dying like before they're born, and like a couple weeks after. So I have to tell her that I'm pregnant and that I'm having a baby, or we didn't know if I was gonna have it yet. That made it extremely hard. So I go on this whole walk for like 40 minutes, and we get back to my house, and she has to take my brother somewhere. So I still haven't told her, and so I go on this car ride with her to take my brother to baseball practice. And we came back, and we stopped at a Subway parking lot because we were gonna get some food. And I told her right in that parking lot, and she just started yelling at me, why would you let this happen? I told you this many times that you need to use protection. Why didn't you do it? This is all I ever talk about. And she was just cussing up a storm and just extremely angry. But then she was like, okay, like she was nice about it in a way, but she was also really pissed. Like she was supportive, but she didn't process it yet, so she really had to just think about it for a couple days. And we didn't know how far along I was or anything, so we had to, I think it was like the day after or 2 days after, we went and got my first ultrasound and found out that I was 23 3 weeks and 6 days. So I was almost 24 weeks along. Once I saw her on the ultrasound, I already knew that like I couldn't just get rid of her. At that far along, I already saw like her whole little body and everything, and she was just so cute. And she was looking, because I was curious if I could know the gender at where I was, and she was looking around and she said it was a girl, but she said she wasn't sure. She said her legs were too closed, and my mom made a little joke about, oh, she can keep her legs closed while I'm there.
Kaylee goes and she texts me and she tells me that she told her, and they pulled up to the house, and I'm just so scared. My heart's beating on my chest. I'm not ready to face the music. So I'm like, all right, I have to go down there and face the music. So I go, I put my hood on, I pull the strings all the way like this, and I walk down there, and I'm talking, I'm walking down there. I'm like, and she goes, you got my daughter pregnant? I'm just like, I didn't really say anything. She's like, you can't even say anything to me? Like what is, and she just started getting worse and worse. And in my head, I'm thinking, what did I do? Inside my brain, I'm crying, but outside, I'm just like, I'm puzzled, I'm baffled, and I do not know what to say. What was I supposed to say in that situation? So I'm like, I'm not saying anything. So she keeps going, and she's ranting, and I didn't know what to say, so I apologized a couple times. So the moral of the story, after like 30 minutes of just getting, the crap beat out of me in words, she goes, it's okay. And then she started to express some love and some concern and said that she was gonna help us get through it, and she would be there to support us, whatever our decisions were. After, a week or two of Kaylee being pregnant, her mom apologized, and all the family and stuff, they accepted it, and they really showed a lot of positives, because I didn't really have a family, and they took me into their family. And I do have a family, and my family is just hard with my family, and that's a story for another video. But basically, they took me in and they accepted me, and they showed me that everything was gonna be okay, and it was okay. And they made me go to these classes and stuff because they cared. And I went to those classes. I didn't really want to go. It was very awkward, but I went and they went, and everything in the end all planned out well. Her grandma's awesome, and I love her family because they're now my family, and everything was great. So in the beginning, it was kind of rough, but that's how it's supposed to be. You find out your daughter gets pregnant, man. She gets pregnant at 16. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Ariana, this is Ariana. She's now 2 months old, and it's been interesting so far since she's been here, learning her and all the things that she likes and doesn't like. It's hard, but it's also fun. It's interesting being a young parent, and you do get judged sometimes, and especially when I was pregnant, I definitely got some looks. Even though I got a lot of looks, it's still worth it in the end when you see your baby's face and get to meet your little precious child. It's a beautiful experience, even though there's a lot of struggles.
So for me, you couldn't tell that I was having a baby, so I didn't really get too many looks. But I moved to a different place from the area that I was living in, and I ended up playing football for another school that I ended up playing my old school. And one thing I experienced was when we played my old school, I got a lot of hate from them, and a lot of just you need to take care of your baby, you're not doing good. Just a lot of that, and I mean, it's definitely unnecessary. But at the end of the day, to the hardship of having a baby is still a bundle of joy, and it's far from easy. But, there's so much happiness that comes with it that it was definitely worth it to have her and to decide to keep her. It wasn't even really a hard decision. Actually, it was. It's a tough decision. It's a tough life. It was, I lie. But here we are, and I'm definitely glad we went through and had her. And, anybody, if I was to look back and do it again, I definitely would. And, anybody that has anything to say about my baby girl, you can look at her. She's so precious, and you can't really say anything about it. What you gonna say? Throughout all the struggle and everything that we're going through, we're very excited to have this channel. And that's like one of the main reasons. We want to impact people's life in a positive way, or whatever we can do. And here we are, and this is our first video. And I want to touch up on, the TikTok support. That video blowing up, people sharing it, the likes, you know, the comments. We even got 2 bad, you know, semi-bad comments, and we had people comment on those. You know, that's not cool. Like, that's awesome, and we definitely appreciate it. And I'm definitely not that emotional of a guy, but that kind of makes me want to cry. You know, it's awesome to see how many wonderful people there are in the world, despite, you know, there's some bad, but, you know, it really showed us that there's a lot of positive people. And we appreciate you guys and all our supporters, and anybody who watches this video, we appreciate it. And we love you guys.
Our next video will be a Q&A, so you can add some questions that you want us to answer in the comments, or on our TikTok, which will be in the description.
And if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful, if it made you smile, you know, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Also, turn on notifications if you want to be notified for our next video, which will be that Q&A. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.
Have a great rest of your night or day, and we'll see you in our next video.